Guys, it is another episode of Leveling Up. Welcome back. Today I have my good buddy Sam Rifkin on. We have just experienced one of the coolest ways that you can transform your life is through his 8-week transformation program. We're going to be talking about some of the ins and outs of how to not just allow sabotage to take form in your life, but to be able to take those internal struggles that you have, depression, some of the different things. Sometimes you could talk about social binging, all these different ideas that often hinder our progress on our vitality and our mentality, and be able to shift that so that we can create a stewardship of kindness, a stewardship of vitality, health, wellness. And I am so stoked to have him on today. He is a wealth of knowledge and experience, and you can tell he works out. He is such a stud when it comes to this. And for decades, he has been able to help inspire people, not just through his example, but by helping them build the disciplines and track themselves in a way that allows them to be their very best so they can be stewards unto themselves and be able to help more and more people. So I'm super stoked to have him on today. Let's first have him say a quick little intro about what he's up to, and welcome to the show, Sam.
Thank you, Brigham. How you doing? Yeah, my name is Sam Rifkin, and I'm really trying to set a new example. I'm really trying to start a new journey as far as all of my entrepreneurial endeavors of really doing what I have done. Let's call it on an amateur level for friends and family, to get people in the gym, to get people eating healthy, to realize how that invigorates your life. This is not just about meatheadedness. It's not just about whatever. This is about get fit so you can be a better father, get fit so you can be a better mother, get fit so you can make more money at your job, get fit so you can be a better friend and just live a better life, starting from within, starting from yourself.
Beautiful. Getting fit is not just something that happens on the physical side. This starts from within. That's one of the things I love about your program is it's not just, hey, a personal training thing. You're not just giving us stuff to move. You're helping us understand how do we overcome a lot of those self-sabotage mentalities and be able to say, how do I create the disciplines? How do I put in the work consistently and then be able to overcome a lot of those challenges? So in our episode today, guys, we're talking about sabotage to stewardship. What does that mean for you, Sam? How do we overcome a lot of those struggles? Because you talk about this a lot, but how do we overcome that sabotage and then move it towards a stewardship of your body, your mind, your spirit? Love to get your thoughts.
Well, it all comes down to reps, right? I always say that the gym is a microcosm for the rest of your life. And what I talk about a lot is the brain. We have to understand that while the brain is a beautiful tool, the brain is there to trick you. The brain is there to keep you in safety mode. The brain is there to tell you, hey, that soda tastes good. That chocolate bar, hey, that's good. Ooh, yeah. It doesn't tell you, no, you probably should stay away from that because the smells, everything is trickery. The complex zillions of synapses going through are there to trick you. But if you start putting in the reps, you start getting up early, as much as it is painful. I wake up at 5 a.m. and every day I wake up, I still try to convince myself to go back to sleep. I cannot. It's not like I wake out of bed like, let's get it, baby. The brain is always talking to me, but I equate it to the movie A Beautiful Mind. The voices are there, but you just learn how to say, yeah, get out of here. So yeah, really reps of understanding your brain. Reps of understanding that it's trying to keep you in safety mode, that you have to push through, that you have to try things, and just knowing, also seeing yourself in the future. Because I promise you, if you sabotage yourself and you have that meal you shouldn't have had, you have that junk food, you're not going to wake up tomorrow feeling better. But if you fast forward and know you're going to wake up tomorrow feeling fresh because you didn't have it, that's how we need to perceive it all.
Beautiful. When I think of sabotage, a lot of times it comes down to focusing only on the moment. Yes. We rarely have the mental wherewithal to open up our eyes broad enough to say, what is this choice going to do for me in the future? If we can open up our eyes at least for a moment and pause, reflect, and say, well, what is this choice going to do for me? Is this going to make it so it's easier for me to hit my goals or not? A lot of times when you're thinking about what speakers do, what amazing thought leaders do, is they take their experiences, and it's a microcosm for life as well. In whatever thing you're in, you talk about the gym, but literally every single time that we are having an experience of discipline, those skills are transferable. A lot of times you look at learning a language or writing a book or doing something that takes hundreds, if not thousands of repetitions. Every time you do it, it makes it that much easier to do it next time. But every time you say no, or you avoid those things that you know are good for you, it makes it that much harder to stick with it. So those micro wins really do stack up. Any thoughts on that?
Absolutely. What I believe in, there's a couple concepts you got to live by. You have to be able to talk to your future self. You have to be able to perceive who you are in the future. A simple exercise you could do, you write a letter to your future self.
Yeah.
Where are you expecting to be? And that's anything to hold yourself accountable. You should have a good circle that should do that too, which is why we really preach community in our 8-week transformation. But let's be honest, as much as we want to focus on relationships, it starts here, okay? I strongly believe in put yourself first. I strongly believe in take care of yourself, which means sometimes saying, I'm sorry, I can't help you right now. I'm working on me. Because if I don't work on me, I can't be my best version for you. If I keep sacrificing, I tell people a lot, you're not a sacrificial lamb. You're not there like, oh, I'm Mr. Help It. I just burn the candle at both ends. I help my nephew. I help my niece. I help my family. I help here. I help here. You have to help yourself first or you will burn out. You will burn out hard. And all you did was be a servant to other people all day. You also need to be a servant to yourself. You need to fuel yourself so you can transfer that energy into the world because too many people are not prioritizing their health. They're prioritizing the professional aspect. They're prioritizing all these things they got to get done and they're not making time. Figure out a schedule, map out your life, map out your week, your month, make time for you, make time for your health, make time for your fitness. If you don't, you're going to fall into bad habits and you will be this sacrificial lamb of life, which no human in this world is. You are not a sacrificial lamb.
That's a brilliant way to think about this, a sacrificial lamb. One of the things that pops into mind is this concept of social binging. This was one of my experiences while going through this. Tracking my numbers every single day. How much was I eating? How accurate was I? Every once in a while, I would be around other people that were eating cookies, that were having cake, that were not eating what I wanted to be able to hit my goals. And there were multiple times where I didn't have the boundaries set before I went into it. And I ate some of the food that I didn't want to. And I know that hinders your results. But you first have to bring awareness to this. Before it, I didn't realize that I was eating so much extra calories because I wasn't tracking it. But the fact that I was tracking it now made it so that I could recognize these. So talk to us about presetting those boundaries, how to set the disciplines up so that when you go into a social situation where people, maybe they're binge drinking, or maybe they're just eating a bunch of junk food, whatever that looks like, everyone's situation is different. How do you protect your goals and your future self so that you're not just going to show up and destroy your progress in a couple nights?
Well, that comes back to being able to put yourself first, right? And let me tell you something. If you have a friend who you are out with to have fun, to enjoy a connection with, to party, to wild out, I don't care, okay? If they are thinking you are not participating in the social activity because you're not eating that cake, you're not having that cheeseburger, you're not having that party, having that beverage, that's not a real friend, okay? Your friend should enjoy your company no matter what. Like don't get me wrong, I will have drinks again in my life. I haven't had a drink since January of 2024. I never had a problem. I just realized when I started tracking, which we'll talk about, how it was just impacting my sleep, which is basically the number one thing for health is getting sleep. You need to try your best to get 7 to 8 hours, but you need to track. If you start putting your stuff into MyFitnessPal or things like that, you are convincing yourself right there, you can't mess up. You have to scan. You have to put it in. You have to be there. Okay. And again, you're going to go out. Hey man, cookies smell good. Okay. Big old fatty cheeseburgers with 100-gram carb buns. They smell good. They look good. And guess what? You should have them, just responsibly, okay? And unfortunately, when it comes to a lot of my training, I tend to have people in there that more so I just need to kind of eliminate it for a good while. You know, I have some people that have been on track and they can get that cheat meal. If people tell me, hey, I want to go this whole 2 months, I want to go this whole 8 weeks, and I don't want to have any cheat meal, I'll tell them, okay, do it. You know, maybe if they're of a skinny build and they need to build on that, I might tell them to do it. But yeah, you have to be able to track. You have to have the discipline. Anywhere you go, mostly you can get a salad, okay? And you can opt to not drink. When people try to tell me, oh, have a drink, I'm like, look at me, man. I'm drunk in general. I'm a wild dude. I guarantee you I'll out party anybody here. I'll cut that dance floor up harder than anybody here. I'll be the loud guy. I don't need one drink. You want to see it get real crazy, put those drinks in. But nah, man, that's just not part of my life. And a funny thing, if you look just look it up, you do a simple Google search, more kids these days are actually not drinking. They're opting to wake up early. They're getting more into the gym. The world is getting healthier, okay? But we have that middle ground that is kind of sometimes appears like it's getting worse. Now, you have the high achievers. You have people that want a good body. Let's face it, guys and girls, they want to get other guys and girls. They're dating. They're sexually active. They're trying to find a mate. It's in our science. But it does seem that it's going less and less. People are socializing without alcohol. And that's pretty cool. Again, I don't hate on alcohol. I think everything exists for a reason, and you have to manage your own discipline. You have to have everything in moderation. But, somebody getting plastered every weekend, it's not gonna be a good thing.
Yeah, for me, I've never had a drink of alcohol, so it just comes down to
amazing.
That's just how my life has been.
Yeah,
but
that's so
part
cool.
of it is who you surround yourself with, and the standards that they have will impact you. A lot of times I look at my life, and there's sometimes people are not having the same type of physical goals that I do. And that makes it challenging to be able to rise to the occasion to make sure that you are hitting all of the goals that you have. One of the things that I appreciate about our community, the Final Percent, is a lot of our people are really stoked when it comes to fitness and living their healthiest, most vital life. I think that's a huge shout out to the people that are in the trenches doing the work. So that's huge.
I 100% agree. That's, I feel it myself, every time I'm with one of the guys, when I'm with Greg working out, you just go harder. You just have a good time, man. And it was pretty cool because I got the opportunity to hang out with Greg on his birthday before he had to travel. So we kind of celebrated his birthday, and we were in the gym and we were just looking at each other. It was myself, it was Greg, it was Roland, it was Bernard. And we all just looked at each other, and Greg was like, dude, there's no other way I'd want to spend my birthday right now. I'm with my bros getting healthy and in the gym. And this is just amazing. And everybody agreed, and it's so cool to be around people like that not only have your same values that are going to keep you going. They're going to say, hey, you want to hit a workout? Hey, how you doing? They're seeing you. Hey, you look good. Okay, great. But also that being what our socializing is, I actually thought about this the other day. People that talk about, you have gym buddies, or you have people that are friends in your community. Let's say you go and you play sports and you have a teammate, and that's how you socialize. But it's like some people try to say, oh, but are we really friends? Because we don't really socialize outside of that. Like, maybe it just is that's the best way of socializing. Maybe that is just how you should be with your friends. Because what's more valuable than going and being on an adult basketball team and doing something, going to the gym, having some other sort of community? Sure, have dinners, get your kids together if you can. Of course, go that extra mile. But that's something I was thinking about the other day, actually. It's like, oh, but you never hang out outside the gym. Well, where's the better place to hang out? We're getting healthy together. We're having great conversations. You can't be on your phone. You have weights in your hands. Yeah, you can pick it up after. But where is there a better place to socialize? And when you're leveling up and getting better together and going into the gym, perfecting a skill, maybe you're in an art class and you're with your art buddy. That's the best way to socialize. Doing the things you love and increasing your skill set using your brain.
That's beautiful. You never really think about this, but when you're around other people that are often falling off the horse and they're just like, screw it, I'm just going to eat all this, it makes it so much easier for you to fall off the horse. But when other people are getting healthy and they're so excited about it, it literally makes it easier for you to stick to your goals.
Of course.
So let's talk about this for a second. I watched this video a few months back where this person was like, this is what it's like when somebody has emotional eating habits that are unhealthy. She's putting on lipstick and she makes a tiny little mistake. She's like, and she just draws all over her face, getting that red everywhere. She's like, that's what it feels like. Talk to us about this screw it mentality. How do we avoid that so that we can make sure, even if we do have a cheat meal, which I do think that is important to make sure that we have it structured beforehand so that we don't binge crazy. How do we avoid that screw it mentality and just draw all over our face because we made a mistake?
Again, I think it goes back to reps. I think it goes back to mental toughness. You got to try the uncomfortable things to see how it feels. You got to turn the peak into a valley. You got to keep stepping up your game, because you might think that, I mean, again, I can keep my diet pretty on point, but you don't look, there's something in our brain. Like I'm not perfect with the science on this, but there's something in our brains, something that goes on at nighttime when you want all the bad stuff. Okay. We all know it. It's at night. In the morning, you're fine. You drink your coffee, you eat your eggs, you're going. Then the nighttime comes, all of a sudden, like, ooh, what kind of trouble can I get into? It's like the devil come out at night, man. The devil come out at night. But I think it's just putting yourself through crap, man. It's putting yourself through some suffering. You have to. And I'm not talking about intense suffering out in the Arctic chill trying to survive and with a fire. I'm talking about, oh man, like, you really got to say, how hard is it to control yourself to not eat that food? How hard is it to not, to just avoid a counterproductive activity? You have it in you, and you need to understand that. You need to know that on your own, but also surround yourself with the right people. Have the right mentors. Have somebody, it sounds weird, and not too many people don't do it. Like, I'm going to start telling that to my people. If you're having a craving, just text me at night. Hey man, this cake is looking really good. And I'll just say something to you. Okay, don't eat it. Hello. Just don't do it. It is that simple, but look, the urges are there, man. The body is a powerful force. The brain is a powerful influencer, So I think when it comes to falling down in the hole and do whatever, you just got to put yourself in your future self and see, am I going to look back and say, man, I'm happy I had that, I'm happy that I made that decision. You're not. And the more you go through it, the more it becomes normalized. You need to normalize these feelings and understand that it's not going to make you feel good. You have to understand that it's going to put you in a worse spot. Talk to your future self and say, hey, should I have done that? And say what it says back to you. Look yourself in the mirror. Pretend that's your future self and say that. And I promise it will have an impact. But have power over your mentality. Try to master that brain. It's tough. That brain is complex, man. It'll trick the crap out of you.
Absolutely.
But,
I think that's a great point. Mastering our mentality is so essential. I remember at the beginning of this, literally just 8 weeks ago, I was having trouble hitting that 220 grams of protein. I was like, how do I do this? This is like time and a half what I usually am able to get with not trying very hard. And I had to be very intentional every single meal. How do I prioritize protein? How do I make sure that when I have those gaps, that I close them? And I remember the first couple of weeks you said, just get the protein, however you need to get it. Even if you're over on calories, get the protein so you get habits. And I realized sometimes it took like 6 extra eggs. I was like, that's so much extra fat. What do I need to do? Then I swapped that for egg whites. I was like, oh, that's way less calories, same amount of protein, sick. And just some of those little things that I started noticing because I was tracking it made it so I could close those protein gaps. And the other thing I thought was really valuable you brought up with me that I was like, oh, more people need to hear this. I had one time where I was traveling about 3-4 weeks ago, and I'd had a bunch of protein bars on that trip, and I was still like a little bit short on my protein goal. I was like, what is going on? He said, well, are you drinking your protein shake? Because you're going to get a lot more protein from drinking a shake than you will from 3 or 4 bars. I was like, dang it, that would have been way easier to prioritize bringing a protein shake than protein bars. So talk to us about other ways that we can overcome those protein gaps so that we prioritize protein when we are building muscle and we're not so hungry at the end of the day.
Yeah, you have to, again, unfortunately, look, there are some great bars out there, but a lot of the bars, they have to be packed full of stuff. They have to solidify, right? So they have a lot of extra calories. They have a lot of fillers. So very few of them will be actually all the way clean and healthy for you. Now, if you have a protein shake from several different companies, actually my friend at Rep Fitness is starting his own brand. It's completely clean. I love a brand called Transparent Labs. Have the powder on hand. Get used to walking out the door, maybe with a shaker cup filled with the powder. I'm sure you'll always have water, access to a water source. It all depends, because the funny thing that I go through, again, is like I said, Brigham, a lot of times I have people that come through my door and they fell off, and we really need to streamline. We really need to go against the absolute peak proper diet, which a peak proper diet does include a lot of fatty meats. It includes high fats. I'm a strong believer in that. I'm a believer in regulating carbs unless your body type needs those carbs to keep weight on. But you have to go with the lean protein sources oftentimes. You have to start limiting that fat. That's why chicken. In college, that was the thing. I was trying to be a bodybuilder guy, and it was chicken, nonstop chicken because it's high in protein. It's like chicken breast, to be precise. But, overall, once everybody gets to a baseline, I love incorporating steaks, ground beef, full fat. I don't want lean. I eat 8 eggs a day, full eggs. Then I eat ground beef. I snack on macadamia nuts. I snack on pistachios. I eat avocado. I put a lot of avocado, olive oil. I'll take shots of olive oil. Now, but unfortunately, until you get to baseline, you're going to have to lean up that in place of getting your body looking the way it should look. Because the way I see life is you should be an example of humanity no matter where you go, especially as a grown man, a grown woman. There are children in this world that have no choice but to see their surroundings, and they see, I always say, oh, that's what a human looks like. So if you have a kid walking out his door to school every day, to his sport, back home, to his friends, and all he sees is unhealthy adults, people that have the wrong type of body type. And this is, I don't want to shame anybody, okay? My goal is to break through and tell you, hey, you need help and you need to do something about that. It is unacceptable in my mind to go around thinking I'm fine, I'm in this body, because regardless, the counterpoints that are, you are robbing the world of your presence so that you have less years to work on your business, to be there for your family, to earn more money to put into your kids' savings accounts, to make sure that they are set, to put into the family business, to be a good friend, to make your impact on whatever you are furthering, whatever type of mission you have in your life, whether it's your job, whether it's a personal cause, any type of thing. You're saying, you know what? Nah, I don't need those years. I'm good. I'm just going to walk around like this. So I went off a little bit on a tangent there, but sorry, man. I get excited.
You get excited, and it's good.
No, we were talking about, you have to watch out. There's lean proteins and there's dense proteins, and bars are always going to have junk in them. They're always going to have extra filler. So you have to really be mindful. And there's ways to fit in high protein diets on a 2,000 calorie diet. It will involve a lot of shakes, but you also have to understand shakes are supplements. They are supplementary. We want you getting whole foods. We want you getting the nutrients, but you can take a break from needing all those fats that fuel the brain to get your body where it needs to be. And then we dial it back in. Then we reintroduce. Perfect example is if you see my social media posts, go check me out on Instagram. You see my dog, Stephen Deming. Okay. He crushed it. He now has visible abdominals showing. Okay. I want to get him a little more leaned up, and then I'm going to pack that back on him. I'm going to say we're eating high fats. We're getting the carbs on because you have that body type. So it's all about finding that baseline. It's all about navigating. It's all about inputting the info into your MyFitnessPal, making sure you see it, because there's so many cycles to this game, But unfortunately, I say, because I want to see everybody back in that zone, we deal with a lot of people that they fell off and they got to get to where they're have definition. They're showing it. So I'm going to have them be on the lean protein diet. I'm going to have them be on the low fat diet until we get them where they need to be. Then we adjust.
That's beautiful. And this is one of the ways that you tweak depending on people's goals and depending on what it is that they are currently experiencing and how far they are in their process. Because not everyone's going to be active all the time. Mm-hmm. Not everyone's going to come in and have all of the athletic abilities that others do. So you have to see, where are you in your journey and where do you actually want to go? You take them from where they are to where they want to go. And that's a huge,
absolutely. And
huge
if I can
gap
interject
at times.
there,
Yeah, go ahead.
If I can interject there, that's why I love our community. We always talk about our community. We want to have somebody that's buying, let's talk about professionally, right? We want to have somebody that's buying their second jet in the same room with the guy trying to buy his first house. We can all get along. We can all inspire one another. We can all have a way to benefit from one another. There's so many different things, so many different skills, so many ways you were raised, so many ways you're brought up, so many other skills that you've learned that other people haven't. Same in our 8-week transformation. We have people in there that are great athletes. We have people in there that are amazing soccer players. We have my buddy Rocco, who has taught snowboarding and Muay Thai fighting, who's in there. We have a guy, Tim, I always give a shout out to, 44 years old, never stepped into a gym in his life. And he went and crushed this 8 weeks. He's such a systems-based guy. I loved it because he was perfect for the program. He followed it. He followed the macros. He followed the workout. He inputted it. He was like, boom, boom, robotic in a great way. So you have people that are just getting started. You have people that have problems. You have people that are amazing, all in the same community, all hyping each other up, all talking to one another, all cheering each other on. And they're all learning something from one another. So what I always say about it too is there's a point in your life where you maybe need to realize that you need to embrace being more of a leader. You need to embrace that you are the inspiration. You need to embrace the fact that you have information within you that you might not have voluntarily shared, but you need to be out there to share. So while a lot of people need my guidance or they want the workout, I encourage people that maybe, hey, you think you have it all together. Number one, I promise you're going to learn something from me. I promise you're going to love me. I promise you're going to crush this program. But be in there for the people that are like, hey, I'm having a tough day, or hey, oh, I'm getting it together, or haven't been there. Lean into being a leader. Lean into the value it'll give you to inspire, to actually give something back where maybe you haven't recently. You haven't had the format. And that's what I think we're creating here. We're creating that format that we can all coexist. We can all hang out together. And what I keep saying too, the last point I'll say until we move on to the next point, is that my goal is to have the 8-week transformation be somewhere that people can build a business together. All of a sudden you're in our community chat, which gets amazing. Everybody's hyping each other up with, hey, oh, I have a business. I do real estate. I do fix and flips. Hey, I'm a roofer. Oh, hey, I have an insurance agency. Oh, I'm an agent. Oh, maybe I'll work with this guy. The goal is to have it all together. The goal is to merge personal growth with vitality being the fuel. That's how I treat my life. Vitality, looking good, being the bigger guy has helped me in rooms. Okay. I can be that walking billboard. I can be somebody that can earn respect without talking. And that's what I want to do for everybody else. I don't say that to big up myself. I really do all I do to inspire. Am I immune to compliments? Of course not. I love them, man. Okay. Like anybody, it feels good. Hey, thanks. When the kids that I'm coaching in football tell me, oh man, you're Jack, or anybody else tell me, hey, I love it. But I really want to be somebody out in the world that can set an example, that can inspire and fuel others, whether it's just by being in my presence, having a quick chat with me, or joining my program.
That's beautiful. Let's transition just for a second. I think we've brought this up in a few different ways. I know that in our world, there are so many people that suffer from depression, low confidence. They have different anxieties. When you're talking about protecting your future and your health and vitality, what would you say to talk to someone that was struggling with depression, but they still feel like they can get out there and do something with it? Not so clinically depressed that they won't get off the couch, but I'm talking about the people that are still willing to go do something, and they're often experiencing these depression dips. How do you get them in the right modality to just go do something?
I tell them, watch what happens when you move. Watch what happens when these endorphins start fluctuating through your body. It really is that easy. It seems hard, but let me tell you, if I'm talking to you out there and you're listening to a podcast, get moving. Walk through that door. Enter that gym. Take a walk down the street. Do some push-ups on your floor. Do some sit-ups. Go to the grocery store and buy some good meals. Go do some research. Okay, if you're on your own, go do your own research. Find out some things. Watch what happens when you take that first step and the invigoration that it feels. It is that easy. I know it feels hard for you, but it's that easy. Take that first step. Move your body. The body invigorates you. You are not going to drain yourself of energy. You are going to fuel the battery. You're going to fuel the life force, and it's going to emanate, and you're going to shine that much more. You're going to be proud of yourself. You're going to show the people around you that you're moving. And if you got the right circle, they're going to congratulate you, be like, wow, way to freaking go. Okay. I'm dealing with that with somebody right now. Okay. He's on the proper peptides to get healthy, but he is not moving. And I see him a lot. And I say, hey, when's that gym starting? I'm about to go kidnap him in the morning and take him to the gym with me. Don't tell him. Don't tell the cops. but yeah, you have to realize that movement is medicine. It's the easiest thing. Get in the gym and doing something, get moving. And that's where, but look, unfortunately, some people don't have that within. And that's why people like me exist in this world. give me a call. I'll get you going. And I'm not trying to sell you nothing on that. I always believe there's a free version in everything. So if there's anybody that I can help that just needs that push, I would love to be that person for you. I would love that. Make me happy if I can be the one to get you moving. Find somebody that's your accountability buddy. Find somebody that will say, hey, come on, did you get that workout in? Did you start moving? So again, what I say is the easiest cure to depression is movement. Watch what happens when you just simply move.
That's absolutely essential to get your body moving. We talk about how when you get your mind body connected, you can shift your emotions almost immediately. And then the language you use around how you're moving, how you're thinking about things will start to shift because you're in motion. You're making progress. Even a micro amount of progress will be evidence to yourself and to your mind saying, oh, this is my new reality. Here's my new normal. This is the difference between someone staying on the couch and getting more and more depressed and stuck and frustrated, and someone that just got up and moved. And they said, hey, if you think about people that are swimming, I saw this quote last week when I was at the, when I was swimming for my cardio. I did that last week because it was super fun with my sister.
Awesome. Yeah.
But we were swimming, and there's this quote that said, even if you're not swimming very fast, you're doing laps around people on the couch. You get out there and do something. Now, this was the thing that I felt like was the absolute most valuable thing that I took away from the 8-week transformation was the accountability of tracking the data and finding ways to make it as accurate as possible. Because the better data you have coming in, the better decisions you have coming out. Just like a juicer, whatever you put in, something's going to be coming out. If you put bad data in, you're not going to be able to make as clean of decisions. So the way that showed up for me was at the very beginning, I was like, well, yeah, I'm eating pretty well. And you're like, how many ounces of chicken are you eating? How many ounces of this protein are you eating? I was like, this much, like that much. And you're like, weigh it. And I was like, fine. So I got the scale, and most of the time, probably 60 to 70% of the time, I was weighing the protein, not perfect, but way more accurate than it had ever been in the past. And that was the biggest shift for me, was the more accurate data you have coming in, the better results you can get, because you are knowing what is reality and what's truth rather than what's an approximation. Talk to us about how you inspire people to track so they can make better decisions.
Absolutely. One of the most dangerous things I talk about is that potato, that rice scooper that you freely boom. And it honestly comes up with a lot of my Mexican friends. All my friends are like, yeah, but my mom and I, when we're at the family dinner, they're going to be like, you ain't eating. I'm like, you have a battle you have to fight. You're just going to have to tell your mom, hey, I love your cooking. It's delicious. I just can't eat that much rice. Okay. I'm just going to have this. What I want to normalize in life is not just the tracking, but at the dinner table, wherever you are, even at our events, let's say, I want to have measuring cups and a food scale right there. That simple thing, and people might be like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, I'm trying to further my life, okay? Because the rice scooper, all of a sudden, bam, 120 grams of carbs. And let me tell you, if you're used to that and you do that half cup, which should amount to what, 30 grams, you're like, oh man, what have I been doing? It's kind of depressing, okay? It is kind of depressing to see that you need to eat that much less if you're one who has to limit your carbs, which, as I say, seems to be the person that I come across the most. So you need to normalize the tracking. Again, it's just putting that foot in the door and doing it, because you have to download that app. You have to get that. Look, you invest maybe $35-$40 if you go to the store and get yourself a proper food scale and just a cheap set of measuring cups. I prefer the metal because I'm trying to get rid of all plastics. That's another thing, the microplastics getting in our body, whole thing there. But yeah, you have to live your life measured when it comes to your food. You have to make sure that you're normalizing that. Get yourself a food scale, get yourself a measuring cup, get educated on what your macros are. That's what we do in our program. We get your in-body scan, we get everything, and we calculate your macros for you. We keep you accountable. If you update us, we can adjust them as you go. But you have to know what's going on in your body. You can't just sit there and think you're fine just throwing a scoop. You're doing this and that. And let me tell you, once you start measuring, I don't promote this, but I always say you start to know what you're doing. You start to maybe not need it per se. I don't want to create anybody having a crutch. Part of all my program is I don't want you to be so reliant on me that if I disappear tomorrow, you're like, oh, what do I do? No, learn as you go. Know what this amount of protein is. I'll be, sometimes I track to be 100%. Sometimes I don't because I know what I'm doing. I have my preparation. Another thing, Brigham, is that I'm huge on meal prep. I am not who I am today with meal prep. I don't want to spend the time cooking on the spot. Okay. I want to be able to grab and go. I have my cooler backpack. I want to throw my stuff in there, whether you're getting it from a service or whether you're getting it yourself, because that is how you can reach your perceived perfection. If you really, really are somebody that's very system driven, that's very data driven, and you want to go that extra mile, you can prepare. This is something our buddy Stephen Moody does. He has everything prepared for the whole day. You can have that exact amount. You can weigh, have your meals prepped, have your snacks prepped. There's your day. Boom. It's there, ready to go. So preparation in everything, failure to prepare is preparing to fail, right? So have that meal prep going. It's such a strong thing. I know people want their fresh meals. Yeah, this and that, but also have your plan. If you're going to have a family dinner, you're going to cook, have your plan. Okay, we're eating ground beef and potatoes. Okay, well, if I have this many ounces of this many ounces of this, that's going to amount to this. Okay, so I get this the rest of the day. But as you said, it's just tracking. Okay. If you need your 3,200 calories and you get to 3,257, it's okay. Try your best, but we don't have to be perfect. We don't have to put that pressure on ourselves. Just do your best and do it proper, but take the time because this is your life. You got to get out of the routine where you have your normal thing. Oh, I got to pick up kids. I got to go to work. I got to go here. I don't have time to do that. You need to make time. This is your health. This is your life. This is yours. This is the most valuable thing you can do for yourself.
Yeah.
Straight.
Beautiful. So here's what I'm hearing based on our conversation. How do you go from sabotage to stewardship, to take complete ownership of who you are? It comes with being so focused on figuring out what the truth is, in knowing your actual protein needs, in avoiding some of those situations where you're just going to fall off the bandwagon and saying, before I go there, here's what I'm going to do to make sure that I set myself up for success. Everything comes down to being intentional rather than reactionary. And I think if you just did this one thing, it would shift everything, is being focused on how do I do this for me so that I can help you. Mm-hmm. If we do that for our kids, it changes the way that we show up. I'm not perfect at this yet, but I have examples in my life of people that have been great at meal prep. For me, the thing with this 8-week challenge that helped a whole lot was a lot of times on Saturdays, I would cook 4 or 5 days worth of chicken because it's easier to cook it once and then just section it off than it is to cook that every single day. Mm-hmm. I'm not great at it yet, but those little shifts start making it easier to stick with it. Absolutely. Now, Sam, tell us, what's your summary of this? What would be the takeaway for people? Because I know we want people to know more about the 8-week transformation. Give them opportunities to connect with you further. Talk to us about why that matters. Yeah.
Yeah. What I would say on that point too is start thinking, I'm going to normalize this. Mm-hmm. What I end up saying a lot now is it's not hard. It's just that you haven't tried it enough. You haven't gone in there and done it. I always say this with a little comedic edge to it. I went to Florida State University and I got to take classes like theory and practice of basketball. Outstanding class. And we had a coach come in and guest speak. And he said maybe the thing that stuck with me most in college, he says, he used the example of waking up early. And what he said is that give yourself 2 weeks for any routine. 2 weeks. I know that there's been other people that have quoted this. They say other days. I like the 2-week method. 2 weeks to, suffer through that 5 a.m. You might be somebody that goes to bed at 2 a.m. Suffer a little bit, get yourself in that routine. What you're doing is you're normalizing things, okay? It's always going to be hard at first. If you give me some new task right now, it's going to feel hard for me. My brain, I can't get this. Reps. Everything is reps. The gym is a microcosm for your life. Put reps into anything. Get out of your comfort zone and just try something. And stop saying, I'm not good at this when it's only that. No, you are actually just have not done it yet, okay? Stop saying you're not good, okay? I might say, what am I going to go say? Hey, I'm really bad at ballet. No, I've never done ballet. Maybe I'm great. I got to go to a ballet lesson and try it and get out of my zone. Okay. So that's what we're trying to do. And to merge that into joining the program, that's some of the people that I love. Again, we're taking people from all over the place, extremely fit people that have taught fitness, people that have never been in the gym before, 20-year-olds. We have a 65-year-old woman in our program. We want to get everybody in there that they can benefit off of each other. Put them in a room that they may never be other than in this program, so we can feed off each other, so we can get better together, so that we can have 8 weeks of formatting something that could transfer to the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. Get in there, give yourself the opportunity, get out of your zone. We're not meant to live this life comfortable. We are meant to battle with our brain a little bit, because if you let the brain take over, you're going to stay in safety mode. That's what it does. It keeps you safe. Sometimes it helps. Okay. Yeah. You feel a fire, your brain tells you run away from the fire. Okay. But you have to know yourself. You have to know your body. You have to know what you're capable of. Get out there and try something new and watch the reward that not only you get, but people get from you. You might think sometimes, nobody cares, this and that. Nobody's rooting for me. Nah, man, people are. They're going to see you. They're going to say, hey, great work. Somebody that's seen you, sees your body change, sees a smile, and sees you glowing, to be like, hey, look at you. Amazing. I make an effort now in my gym to do that. If I see somebody changing, I don't care. I'll tap them I'll tap them, take the thing. Hey, I just want to let you know you're crushing it, man. You're looking great. And you know what? Do you think that maybe they liked it? Do you think maybe that kindness helped? I'm assuming it does. And it helped me too, to be able to give somebody a compliment. So we want to create the most amazing workout community we can, put personal growth into vitality, because vitality fuels everything. That is my motto. Vitality fuels everything. And you may be a great person without vitality, but watch how it fuels you and takes you to the epic apex human that you are meant to be.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Sam. It has been a pleasure to work with you through these 8 weeks. And one of the things I want to make sure I impress on everyone is this isn't just a one and done type of thing. We're creating a lifestyle, focusing on how do I have this 8-week transformation be my new valley, not my new peak. Now, at the beginning, yes, that might seem just crazy to be tracking everything, be able to have the mentality to wake up early. I wake up at 4:30 every single day now, whereas before my early was like 5:30. I wanted to prioritize my time to make sure I finished the workouts as best I could. And sometimes you have to give up a little sleep for a time to do that.
Oh, yeah.
But for me, it really comes down to, are we going to create a lifestyle of health, fitness, and vitality? So I highly recommend going to the 8-week transformation. Go to thefinalpercent.com/8. What do we say? It was a dash week transformation. So thefinalpercent.com/8-week-transformation. That's where you can get a little bit more information on how to connect deeper with Sam Rifkin, the man, the myth, the legend, the stud muffin that is bringing you all of these amazing things. Sam, thanks so much for being here. Any final words for people, why they should listen to the Leveling Up podcast, why they should get the book, why they should connect with me?
Let me tell you right now, when you talk to Brigham, he gets deep. He's a smart dude, and he's very insightful. He's very caring. You can just tell when you meet him. He's warm-hearted. He's amazing. And he's always gives me something new to think about when I speak to him, because I have things in my perspective. But like we said, 2 heads are better than one. Find your community. Whenever I talk to Brigham, I might learn something new. I am seeing a different personality that counteracts mine. So yeah, man, if he's inviting you to get on the podcast, you better pop in, get in while the rocket ship's taking off, baby, because we're leveling up in here, baby.
Absolutely. Hey, thank you so much, Sam. Guys, have a wonderful rest of your day. If you are wanting to go out there and connect deeper with me, go right here to brigham.com/3. You'll get this book, 3 Reasons Stage Fright Costs and Why You Must Fix It. When I say stage fright, this is anything that inhibits you from opening your voice and sharing your message, something that is meaningful, that will help somebody else. Just like what Sam's doing with Vitality, putting this in a normal setting where everyone is getting healthier, mentally, physically, spiritually, all these things. So thanks so much, guys. Go check out one more time, brigham.com/3. That will give you the opportunity to connect with me further. Thanks so much, guys. And once again, Sam, you're the man. Appreciate you, brother.
You're the man. Thank you. Let's go.
God bless. Yeah. Woo.